Hey, hello everyone. I am Saba and I am going to introduce you to Unity today. Today, what we're going to talk about is what is Unity, what do you see inside Unity, what you can do in there, what are the 2D features in that game, and some game examples. So let's start. So what Unity is, guys, is game software. You can make different games inside here. It's very easy to use. You can make 2D games, you can make 3D games inside of it. You can bring in your pictures from outside and add it to your game. There are different parts in there that you can use. It's very simple and very easy to use. I'm going to show you what Unity looks like. Oh, before we start, these are some examples of games you might know that were made in Unity. I'll take you to Unity right here. It's going to be an empty base plate right now. I'm not going to show you the game. I'm just going to show you an empty place and show you how Unity works. So right here, I have this thing called hierarchy right here. So if I right click on this one and then I say create in 2D object, I can see that there are different sprites in here. I can make a triangle, a square, a circle, a capsule, and a lot of other shapes. I'm not going to mention, there are so many in here. So for today, I'm just going to use a circle, because that's what I'm gonna make a game with. So I'm gonna make a circle. So there we go. I'm gonna change its color to blue. Let's get it. Oh, maybe I should make it like a sea blue color. Here we go. And then I have my component right here. So this circle right now is an empty circle. It doesn't do any animation. It doesn't walk. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't go up or down. It's just there. I just made a character right here. You can bring characters from outside too. So if you see right here, we have a space where we can bring characters and pictures from outside. So Brandon, if you want your face in there, you can also do that. You can add like a picture right here. You can add it inside the circle, and then you'll have like a game with your face. And right here we have this block right here, inspector. This inspector is where you can move your objects right here. So you can see on the side, I have a view tool. So on the side, I can move it up and down like this. I can rotate it. You can see it's a circle, so you might not see if it's rotating. I can actually scale it, make it bigger or smaller or wider and narrow. So this is a really, really fun object here. So I'm going to show you something that is very important. We have an add-in component. So you can think of this circle as an empty jar, and you can fill it with different components. You can add like gravity to it. You can move it around. You can like make it. Today, what I'm going to make is when you press on spacebar, it's going to jump. So right now I'm going to add some gravity to it. So it's rigid body 2D. You don't need to remember these names. So I have rigid body 2D. And right now I'm going to move it to my shape. And let's see what it does, what this rigid body actually does. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to drag it. And I'm going to put it inside my sprite here. And I'm going to make it fall. That's what I'm going to do. So we have a scene where you can work. This is where we can work. But if you want to control how your game looks like, so the camera and how you want your background, this is where we go to test our game. And right now you will notice that my game does nothing. So when I click on play, it's going to do basically nothing. I'm going to wait until this one loads up. It takes a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is, meanwhile, I'm going to show you something back in our presentation, and let's see what is going in there. So I added some videos in here from the game making process. So let's see if we can play it and see how it looks like in Unity. So we have a Unity interface, so that's what I show you. I will do a quick review on what we just looked at it today, just now. So let's see. The first thing that we looked at was the hierarchy. The hierarchy is where you add all of the materials. Next thing that we have right here is our inspector. Inspector is where you change the color of the materials, how fast they are, adding gravity, you add all the components right here in the inspector. And then we have scene right here. Scene is where we create our game, where you are going to focus your camera on. There are games where you create a camera that is for the whole background, and there's also a scene where you can create a camera just for your character. So it's going to focus on your character. This is where you're going to work with that. And then you can scale your characters, you can make them move around, you can add trees, lamps, whatever you're making inside of game, you can add all of that. And then we have, lastly here, projects. Here you can add scenes, you can add pictures. There we go. I don't know if you can guess what game this is. It has a bird. And it has a lot of pipes. So right here, you saw that somebody just added rigid body here. And once you add that rigid body to your game, this is what happens. When we play it, the object falls. So we just added gravity to our object right here. As I told you, object is an empty jar. You can add inside of it whatever you want. Actually, there's so many components in there. You can make it fly. You can make it go to the side all the time. You can make it float in the water. You can make anything. So that's what it's fun about adding the components right here. I can use arrow keys to move around. I can use up and left. If I need to, yes, I can use the mouse. Very good. What else can I use for a 2D character? What do you think? In Flappy Bird, I'm going to use, WASD, yes, very good. You can use that. Drag, very good. That too. Yeah. It has a lot of features. Perfect. The one that I'm going to use today is going to be the spacebar. What components can we add to our characters? So this is where we can add, what features can I add to my character? I can add an animation where it crouches. I can make it jump. Now we're going to go to our next section, and I'm going to show you the game example. So right here, I have a component. So you can see right here, I have different addings that I add here, right in here. So I have a character that is called Bird, and then I added to it a rigid body. Then I added a script. I added a script for it so that it can move whenever I press the space bar, so that it can move. I added this script right here, and I'm going to show you what that script has inside of it. But before that, I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to show you the movements of the characters as well. So let's see if I can find the movements in here. There we go. So your character can move either up, down, or left and right. And Unity actually uses this coordinate to coordinate itself. So you can see that when it goes down, it goes to minus. When it goes up, it goes to a plus sign. And then you can see when it goes to, oh, sorry, it was too fast, I guess. I need to pause the video right here. And if you go to the left side, it's going to go to the minus. And then if it's right, it's going to go to the plus as well. So let's see if I can go back to my video, and then I'm going to show you that's how the movement of our coordinates. This is how we're going to move it around. And if you have a grid right here, you can imagine it in your head. Okay, if it's moving up, then I'm going to go to a plus sign. So I'm going to use 0 and 1s. If I'm going down, I'm going to use a 0 and a -1. So you can see that there are different coordinates, and you can use different ways to allocate these. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to code in Unity right now. So let's see. That's our next part that I'm going to show you, because before we code, I wanted you to know about the components. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to show you Unity. So here we go. We are back into our Unity right here. And I'm going to bring back actually my circle. It's moving down the whole time. So I'm going to pause it for a while, and then I'm going to bring it up. So I'm going to put it into a 0 right here, and then I'm going to put a 0 right here. Let's see if this would help. Oh, I just added letters to it. There we go. And then I'm going to play it, and then let's see if it's going to work. And then it's going to come back. Here we go. I have my circle back. And if I play it and I click on the spacebar, it's going to move up and down, just like in the Flappy Bird. And then to make our class here we go. It's scripting. Okay. Takes a little bit of time to script, but I guess that's okay. So let's go. So right here, you can see that whenever I click on the circle, you will see that there will be a script added to it. So I just added a script to my circle. And it says that whenever I click on the plus button, it should like add it. So you can see right here, I can add a component right here. So on the side, and then you can add script to it. So you can make the thing move around. So if you go to add component, so just like I added this rigid body before, you can add a script to it. And once you open up the script, it's gonna look something like this. So I'm gonna open up my script and then I'm gonna show it to you guys. Here we go. And oops. Uh-oh. I guess two games are working on the same time. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna show you, we're gonna, when you add a script to your game, it's gonna add into a Visual Studio Code right here. So you can see right here, I added my rigid body, I added the flap strength. Then I said when the key code space is hit, when it's true, it will go 2 vectors up, and then I put the flap strength. So the flap strength can be anything like 10, 12. So the higher the flap strength is, the higher it will go up. So this is what I just coded right here. These are just 4 lines of code. So I added a rigid body right here so that it falls down, and then I added the space key to make it move up. So here, after you code anything in Unity, always make sure to save it. When you save it and you go back to your Unity, it's going to show up inside of there. So let's say that I saved my script right now, and then I go back to Unity, you will see that something like this will appear on the side of it. You will see there is a script with a hashtag, and you will see that it is connected right here. I have flap strength right here. It's on 3 right now. I can change it. You can see right here, my character is moving down. It's saying that it's in like a coordinate, which is like minus something. I can change it and bring it back, and then I can make it into 0, and then it will come back as well. So you can actually modify things in here and work around it. This is all about Unity right now. So I'm gonna do a quick summary and show you guys what happened in this slide right here. So I actually showed you the space around here, how Unity works. You can actually download Unity by yourself as well and see how it works and experiment a little bit. Just like I told you, there's a hierarchy. You can add everything. I think, Julia, you did this. Guess what game it is? You already knew that it's a Flappy Bird game. And yeah, and I think we'll be ending for today.